Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you so much for being here. This is Silver Slayer. I have a question for you. Now, I know we all stack silver, but do you also invest into gold as well? And if you do, what percentage do you own? Is it, 75% silver and 25% gold, or do you do like a ratio of every 100 ounces of silver you buy an ounce of gold or half ounce? Let me know. I mean, yes, silver is a better investment in my opinion, hence why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, but there are definitely some benefits to gold that can even go beyond silver. For example, you can fit $100,000 worth of gold in a shoebox. You can't do that with silver. It takes up a lot of storage space. So a lot of heavy investors will diversify into gold for simply that reason alone, is because, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or even that much into silver takes up a lot of storage space. So diversity is key. Plus, gold is more of a monetary metal. Silver is an industrial metal. So they can be used for two completely different reasons in your strategy. So let me know. Now, I found an article titled 8 Good Reasons to Own Gold. Before we jump into this, I did want to share I am doing a silver giveaway in celebration of 55,000 subscribers. You don't want to miss it. Go enter right now before you miss an opportunity. Plus, I pick a random subscriber every single month, give an ounce of silver to someone who just stands out to me, being very, positive in the comments, leaving good comments, being friendly, just good vibes. I'll reward you for that. So let's jump into this. 8 good reasons to own gold. Gold is respected throughout the world for its value and rich history, which has been interwoven into cultures for thousands of years. I mean, gold and silver have literally been used since the beginning of man. We're talking 5,000 years ago. And I did want to also talk about, I guess, the comparison between gold and silver over time. Because, yes, gold is right now about 80 times more valuable. But back in Egyptian biblical times, silver was just as valuable as gold. It wasn't until recently where, I guess 1930, if you want to be literal, where FDR got in office, changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1. He single-handedly devalued silver. And if it wasn't for that, I still think that silver would be seen as just as valuable. It's funny that gold is so much more expensive when it's used for something that's nowhere near as critical as silver. Silver is used in everything. We need silver. Most gold is just used for jewelry and coins and bars. And since gold is a monetary metal and silver is an industrial metal, those two different reasons can play two different parts. Now, I do still think silver is the best investment, but gold can still be a perfect way to kind of store your wealth as silver takes on a life of its own. So let's keep moving on. Here's the history of gold holding its value. Unlike paper currency, coins, or other assets, gold has maintained its value throughout the ages. People see gold as a way to pass on and preserve their wealth from one generation to the next. And here was kind of what I was talking about. And since ancient times, people have valued the unique properties of this precious metal. Gold doesn't corrode and can be melted over a common flame, making it easy to work with and stamp a coin. Moreover, gold has a unique and beautiful color, unlike other elements. The atoms in gold are heavier and the electrons move faster, creating absorption of some light, a process which took Einstein's theory of relativity to figure out. Now, I did want to mention something right here. This is, I guess, a perfect example of how valuable silver really should be. Because if they're talking about gold, having these great properties, look at silver. Silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, and light sensitivity. Silver is the metal that we need in technology, astronomically more than gold. Yes, there is gold in cell phones and laptops. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones myself, but silver is the critical metal that we need to advance in this new digital technological era. Most gold is used for jewelry and coins, hence why gold stays in circulation for a century, where silver is used in laptops and solar panels and electric vehicles. So it's thrown away, never to be recycled. And this goes back to my point of the gold to silver ratio being 80 to 1 right now, when if it comes out of the ground roughly 8 to 1, that ratio is actually much smaller, since the ounce of gold that gets dug up stays in circulation for a century, where those 8 ounces of silver that gets dug up will be thrown away in a couple decades. And since we're on the topic of gold and mining, I wanted to bring to light something that I mentioned last week, which is gold secured currency, also known as GSX. It's a crypto backed by physical gold, and they actually mine the gold out of the ground themselves, which they have thousands of acres of land across South Africa. They also just got 2 huge claims in Zimbabwe. Now here's an actual map of some of their mining locations, and this is from their huge mining update. So you can see this first one is Makaha, and here is the capital city of Zimbabwe. And you can see the second location is about 100 miles north of Harare, which is in Chinhoyi. So there's some of their new mining locations. They discovered a significant gold reef on the surface near the claim of Makaha, which is over here. And to take it a step further, they even post their geological reports where you can download. If you do want to invest in this, I recommend going to Bitmark. They also did open their own crypto exchange called Knox Exchange. It's also on CoinSuper. So this coin is just it's incredible. I mean, I can't even try to explain how revolutionary this company really is. And one of the most exciting pieces of information that got released was that their visitor center is open. It's located in Zambia. This is where you can go and see their mining operations, how their investment or GSX is being used to add value to the coin. Investors will be able to immerse themselves in a truly African experience to see Zimbabwe through their own eyes. I think that's crazy news. I mean, I always saw that on the roadmap, but I was just like, wow, like that's insane. I've never seen a company do anything even close to this, but they're proving that they're actually doing it. You know, every one of these check marks is something that they set out to do and they've accomplished. Now, 2022 is their new projects they're going to work on. They've already accomplished some of these. So, I mean, this company is just amazing. Now, I did want to show some pictures because I also mentioned that GSX is an actual currency that some of these businesses are able to accept and use as money. Here's a couple pictures. Now you could see this is one of the events they had. All of these businesses except GSX. You can see right there. And you're about to see this actual bottle service they had. And if you use GSX, you get a discount. That is the business. And here's even a golf day that they did. They've had other events as well. Now, like I said, you can go to Bitmark to buy it, sell it, trade it, hold it, cash it out, do whatever you want. I recommend you hold on to it because looking in the next couple of years, this company's doing big things. So yeah, now it goes into the weakness of the dollar. Although the US dollar is one of the world's most important reserve currencies, when the value of the dollar falls against other currencies, as it did between 1998 and 2008, this often prompts a flock of the security to gold, which raises gold prices. And, you know, that's obvious. It's called a safe haven metal for a reason. The price of gold nearly tripled between 1998 and 2008, reaching $1,000 per ounce. And we actually saw it go above $2,000 an ounce last year, and that was when the gold to silver ratio was 125 to 1. That is the highest price, or I guess the most overvalued or the most expensive gold's ever been compared to silver. Now, it also is used as a hedge against inflation. So gold has historically been an excellent hedge against inflation because its price tends to rise when the cost of living increases. Over the past 50 years, investors have seen gold prices soar and the stock market plunge during high inflation years. And this is because when fiat currency loses its purchasing power to inflation, lost 98% of its original purchasing power, gold tends to be priced in those currency units and thus tends to arise along with everything else. Moreover, gold is seen as a good store of value, so people may be encouraged to buy gold when they believe that their local currency is losing value. And another interesting fact is the price of gold and silver versus the demand is a direct correlation. So when the demand of precious metals rise, the price rises almost identically to it. I've shown a couple charts on that before. Now, deflation is defined as a period in which prices decrease when business activity slows and the economy is burdened by excessive debt, which has not been seen globally since the depression of the 1930s. Now, and this could also, I guess we should mention this, although a small degree of deflation occurred following 2008 financial crisis in parts of the world, which 2008 financial crisis, credit crisis led to billion-dollar stimulus, which did inevitably lead to $50 silver. But anyways, during the depression, the relative purchasing power of gold soared while other prices dropped sharply. And this is because people chose to hoard cash, and the safest place to hold cash was in gold and gold coin at the time. We also have geopolitical uncertainty. It's almost funny because like precious metals, since it goes against the grain and against the government, we almost have to like hope that things go bad, that stuff hits the fan for our investment to go good. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as we already know that's going to happen. It's not that we're hoping, we're expecting it to, right? Because we understand what's going on with the corrupt financial system. So we just know it's going to happen anyway. So we might as well, take advantage of that. There is no solution. There's only an alternative, and that alternative is precious metals. So then we can go into supply constraints. Now, I don't really think there's a supply constraint or a deficit on gold. Now, obviously, there's only so much gold in the ground, but like I mentioned earlier, most gold is recycled since it's used as a monetary metal and jewelry and stuff. I think the supply constraint would be more towards silver, but regardless, they do mention this, and there's a premium, such a high premium on silver and not gold because silver is scarce. Gold has basically no premiums, and that's because it's not really scarce. Then you have the increasing demand, and that's what I was kind of talking about. The emerging market economies boosted demand for gold. In many of these countries, gold is intertwined into the culture. So, the last one, which is probably a really important one, is diversification, right? If you have all your eggs in one basket and that basket drops, all your eggs are broken. If you have several different baskets, if one of those baskets drop, you still have a whole bunch. And even when it comes to precious metals, where we can even break that down to silver alone, whether you have bullion, whether you have generic rounds or bars or junk silver, diversification even within the silver market is important as well. So here's the bottom line they're saying. Gold should be an important part of a diversified investment portfolio because its price increases in response to events that cause the value of paper investments, such as stocks and bonds, to decline. Although the price of gold can be volatile in the short term, it has always maintained its value over the long term. Through the years, it has served as a hedge against inflation and erosion of major currencies, and thus is an investment well worth considering. I mean, every fiat-based system has collapsed, every single one. The fiat system lasts around a century, but all of them collapse. They're designed to fail, trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. That's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. It's going to catch up, and it's never going to work when the system is designed not to work. So precious metals is the only answer, and I wanted to bring this video to you because I'm asking, do you also own gold or just strictly silver? It's okay if you just own silver. I'm just curious because there are some benefits to gold as well. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Go enter my giveaway. May the luckiest stacker win. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.